If you are in your 20s, your life is just starting. Chill. This is something that I suffered from for years, and that I wish I had someone tell me much earlier. I've only realized it this year, and while some would think it is a very late revelation, I like to think that it is a blessing I found this out at the age of 26 rather than at 50. I'd like to mostly blame the media for telling me how much youth is important, and partially myself for believing that dumb shit and feeling an insurmountable amount of dread from losing my youth to bullshit that was not in my control. As a man, your early life, while being somewhat important, doesn't matter as much as when you get to adulthood. And by adulthood I mean the early to mid-20 seconds. Early years are the name of the female game. They get pretty, bloom, grow up, become highly desirable. Cock carousel. Do all the shit they want to do and then marry in their mid to late 20 seconds. Men, however, are different. They work in the other direction. Most of them are not that desirable when they're young, but as they grow up, they lift, they learn, they get talent and riches and experience that matters. This goes double for teenagers here. Your time will come. Youth importance is bullshit media pushing that only applies to women, and has fucked up so many men mentally because they don't work the same. Women's prime is in their late teens to mid-20 seconds, and they have options that men don't. Which is why men who focus on youth get depressed. Men's prime is dependent on their success, and age, which is, on average, in their mid-20 seconds to late 30 seconds. With some men never losing their prime. Never forget that. Lifting is very fucking important. Do not use bullshit examples of pretty model boys to cope. This is something I've recently seen when it comes to modern men, and I blame Instagram, Twitter culture for it. They start saying how they're too short to lift, or how only looks matter and lifting is an ass, or how Gymcell is coping and you only lift weights and eat chicken to hopelessly find someone to love you. If you think that, that's great and all, but you don't know shit, so maybe stop talking out your ass and find out where your mouth is. Men tell men to lift because it works. Lifting is masculine, and looking good can be one of the biggest confidence boosters you will ever have. I had a shitty upbringing where I was a fat, weak loser, and I would like to thank lifting for getting me to where I am right now. I thank it for being able to walk without suffering. I thank it for being able to have women turn their heads and see me as attractive. I thank it for the pain that I don't have, and that my father does at his weight. And I thank it for letting me get through COVID with no less than a bit of a fever and some sweating. Having muscles on and looking good is important, and any man who says otherwise is naive or doesn't mean you well. Francisco Lahovsky once said, "Why to lift weights when it is all about your face?" Francisco Lahovsky is now in the gym working out and punching bags because his looks are fading. Aging pretty boys often look like dog shit when they stay lanky, and their skin turns to ball sacks because they decided that being a feminine boy is more important than being a masculine alpha. There's a reason why nature is a mother, and time is a father. It will smack you hard. There are numerous reasons why lifting is a must. This is because some men will pick on softies. Most men will leave you alone, but some men will try to shit on you if they think you're not a threat. I've seen a video where a guy picked up a skinny guy from a bar and carried him like a child to take his place. He would have not tried that if the man was built strong. By lifting and looking tough, you aren't being a target. Emojing starts at the first glance, and a man who is lanky is 99/100th times not doing the AMOG. You will get respect from men, which equals social proof. Men respect men who lift and don't usually fuck with guys who they think are tough. Women just love muscles. I'm a man, so I'm not gonna beat around the bush like a woman saying, "I'm putting on lipstick and making my boobs bigger and my ass tighter for odd HE or women." I lift for the woman, too, because I want to look good and have her touching my muscles while I'm pounding her pussy. And to be good looking at the club. Lifting is an ego boost, so deal with it. I know a lot of you will say that lifting for women is beta, but I don't care, and I know most of you lift so women would drool over your Adonis-like body, so stop fronting. See, being healthy and fit is just nice, and being able to eat more food without worrying like Victoria's Secret model is a bonus. I put health last because, to tell you the truth, I like it but don't really give that much of a shit about it. It's nice to stay out of the hospital, but I also lift, so I could eat and drink more shit, which is sometimes unhealthy. Some of you say that health is number one, and then shoot tea in your assholes and do a bunch of unhealthy shit. I'm direct and forward, and I don't try to dance around it. I'm not about to trade my youth for being a healthy 60-year-old loser. So lift, because it works and it is good for you. Lifting is a core thing that helps keep you in your prime. But you still need to approach women. Lifting without approaching is like winning a lottery ticket and never cashing it in. There's a trope that exists with men who lift, and it says that men expect women to be all over them when they get buff, but often have just men telling them nice muscles, bro. This happens because men lift to look good but fail to use that shit to their advantage and hook up with women. You have to go out and get yourself out there. Lifting simply makes it easier and makes you more confident. If you don't use it, you are wasting it. Feminism might exist, and women might talk shit about equality. But they all want to be approached by a fit-looking tough man because it makes them feel desirable, and be approaching is risky, shitty, and can hurt your ego. Ergo, put your man pants on. Like I said, lifting is important. It's only half of the puzzle, though. Looks are important, but average looks and good game beats nice looks and no game. That is why game is the name of the game. Experience matters. Game is why men have a late prime and women have an early prime. The female game is looks and attitude. They don't need a game, they sit there looking pretty, acting sweet, and men come for an interview. The male game is experience and strength. If you have lifting covered, you have the strength part covered. Experience is something that is invaluable and incredibly important. Observe any girl who likes a man older than them by half a decade, and they will all show you that they like them for their experience and what they are able to do. And this is the absolute major key to success, and something that most men don't want to hear because it implies responsibility. I don't care how shitty you look. I will tell you what women want to hear and what makes them fucking tingle. When a man says I can do that, those 4 words are on top of the shelf. There's a reason why women love fixer-uppers. Because they're guys who know how to do shit, and that shit is manly and attractive. Lizard brain fires up when a man just knows I can do that is one of the biggest turns-ons that you can display to a woman. You can fix shit around the house. You can make her laugh. You can fight, you can do this and that, etc. If you are a man who can do anything, you are incredibly valuable to women and men. And this is incredibly important because it is something that you can work on, and that is in your ability to do so. Also, I'd like to say that if a man comes at me saying, oh, I can do so many things and yet no one wants me, he should expect a reply saying you can't attract a woman. Therefore, you can't do something. So don't overestimate yourself. Now, let me say that looks will impact the way you get shit testing responses, and how much. This is true. At the end of the day, all you have to do is pass that shit, because shit testing is good and natural. If it pisses you off, you have a feminine mindset. There are only 2 kinds of programming languages. The ones people complain about and the ones nobody uses. The vast majority of men that women like get shit tested to some degree. The only people I can think of that don't get shit tested are very famous people who women have already assessed that they want to fuck and get attention plus riches from. And shit testing could fuck it up. Ask the Chad that bangs women and gets pussy, and he will tell you that he gets some level of a shit test. Women implying they're being taken advantage of, calling them a fuckboy, saying other snarky shit, asking if they're the only girl they're talking to, etc. Really, just ask any experienced TRP man what women say moments before they're bent over. They do this to see how the man reacts. If you take it personally, you fucked up and you should change your mindset. Hot guys get shit tested some, and average guys get shit tested plenty. 90% of men who bitch about women giving them shit got shit tested and failed, and the other 10% met a BPD hoe. Shit testing is biological, and merely a way for women to challenge men and see if they're able to do what they look like they could. Again, mindset. You're not jumping through hoops and passing tests like a monkey. You're showing a silly bitch who wants to test you what's what. The only other people besides famous dudes who don't get shit tested are the ones who aren't desirable. Candidates who don't get invited to an interview don't even get the chance to get the job. When a woman doesn't like you, she will stay away from you, and she will tell other women to do the same. Which is why more women equal more women. Gossiping works in your favor. Gossip is a man's single greatest double-edged sword. This is how a guy ends up fucking a girl and her girlfriends, because she can't help telling them how great you've been. This isn't for you, they're bragging and showing you off because women, and now women being women, want to have a taste of your dick. If they don't pursue you while you're together, they will pursue you when you break up. She will tell them all the details and all the intricacies, especially if you've given them pleasure. Women getting pleasure from a man is often very fucking rare. Even if you have an average, smaller dick, a woman will want what most men can't provide, tingles. This also works in reverse. They will talk shit about you and you will suffer. Therefore, if you're coming for the king, you best not miss. But even if you do, it's no skin off your back, because abundance mentality is something you need to have. Hooking up with women isn't a competition, it is a dance. Relationships are like a dance, and good dancers get attention. What do I mean by this? I mean that if you got rejected by a woman or a group of women, don't stress it. And don't wait for them to take you back. Waiting for someone to reaccept your offer makes you look thirsty and desperate. Just go somewhere else, flirt, have fun, show that you're actually fun, and 9/10 times those same women will later on try and get you because oh shit, he is actually fun and interesting. Abundance mentality exists by default in the mind of every single woman because they know that so many men want them. If you apply the same thing to yourself and show it to be true, you will get a lot of success because abundance equals options equals desirability. Again, gossip works in your favor, and men don't work like this. If a man sees a woman dancing with another man, he will probably move on to another woman. If a woman sees it, she will wait her turn because who the fuck is she to have fun and not me with the cool man? That's not fair. I want to have fun too. Me, I want to fun me, yes, fun my fun. If all else fails, listen, chubby chicks need love too. Why? Because women see that shit. They see the chubby girl having fun with an alpha. They see her giggling. They see you have a good ass time and they get self-conscious and want a piece of the cake. Now, you can stick with the girl and tell Stacy to beat it if she comes to try and claim you. In fact, that is exactly what you should do at first, and I mean do not give up on the chubby girl. The flurry of shit is entertaining, and Stacy's lizard brain will like that you just didn't give up on the chubby girl as soon as she came back for you to scratch her ego. You can always flirt with her later. Just realize this, women want what women have. If you can't dance with the prom queen, then dance with the grenade, and better will eventually come. Being an interesting, fun person is worth like diamonds because being funny, and I mean actually funny, is a skill that most men don't have. There's something you need to know about women: they're both bored and boring as fuck. The number one thing women say most of the time every single day before they're about to do some shit: want you to do some shit. Or just want to notify you that they don't like you is I'm bored lol. They want to have fun, they want to feel something, they want to be entertained, and there is no shame in that. Guys have adopted this shitty mentality where they cope by saying, oh, I'm not your monkey. And while this does apply to women on Tinder and shit, if I'm trying to be funny, I am doing it for me, and she is simply a part of me entertaining myself. That is, at least, how I see it. There's a reason why alphas tell you to lift, and why boomers tell you that being funny is important. Because it is fucking true. This is how shitty looking men get good looking women, and how guys get social proof. Being funny works on women and men. Alphas are fine and all, but men who know how to keep shit entertaining always have one of the highest social proofs in a group and is one of the greatest skills you can have. Being chill, knowing how to crack jokes, and being able to take them and shoot back is very important and attractive. Now, being funny is not that easy. To be funny, you need wit. Quick response time. You can't get offended, gotta know what to say, when to say, and how to say it with unapologetic confidence. And you need to do it in real time, and not over text where you have time to think up a clever mile-long response. As you can see, it isn't easy. Your name puns, Star Wars quotes, and geeky shit doesn't push the button of most women, and it is not impressive. Being funny in real time to women who you're talking to is impressive, and it can be done to great success. And finally, just work on yourself and never stop. The goal of life is to put nihilism in its place and never quit. To leave it off with some little wisdom, it is this: follow what I've said above and you will live a very nice, happy and interesting life. However, you have to do it. You gotta keep doing it, and you can't stop doing it. Ever. Humans and animals, in general, are predisposed to rest on their laurels and stagnate. That is why pets, when given access to bunch of food, eat themselves to fucking death until they're not able to move. It is why Americans put themselves fucking disabled with fatness, when given the option. This doesn't happen in the wild because it doesn't support it, but it shows the very nature of living beings when given multiple options. Putting it simply, we are fucking confused after living for thousands of years as clothed apes. Women and men are dominated by lizard caveman brains. And for the past 100 years, we have entered modern life, which promotes decay. Even at my young age, I've noticed something important. The default of modern life isn't progression. It is pure, raw nihilism. It is why women get fat when they have kids and don't care, or why already fat women give up on themselves and stay obese. It is why incels lay down and rot and stop trying. It is why alphas turn to betas and get fat and lazy across the years. People get to happy, or not happy enough, and they stop caring and give up. Finally, brace for a punch in the guts, because this is something every man must realize. You can lose everything, and you must be prepared to do so. Everything in life is not permanent. Your house, your friends, your social proof, your fit body, the girls that like you and the girls you're dating. It can all be gone tomorrow, and you must be prepared to move on and carry on, or to defend it to the best of your ability. And rebuild. The goal of life is to work against you wanting to just fucking quit, constantly. Without ever stopping. Father Time will beat the fucking shit out of you and everyone else. Everyone dies, and everyone gets their shit kicked in by Father Time. That is why people who were once attractive or successful turn into wrecks across the years. The real winners are those who take Father Time's punches, kicks, beatings, and lashes. But go through years, run out the clock, don't let themselves get knocked out. And leave a fucking legacy to be proud of,